What is going on, Savage Life family? Looking back at Churchill Capital, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the option plays that I'm currently making for the stock and my predictions and the worst case scenario and the best case scenario. So Churchill Capital has had a massive run today on the 5th of February, up $4.68, and it's currently 1:53 p.m. on the eastern coast. So we still have another 3 hours for this run on the market here, and it has been a beautiful gesture. Now, if you don't know who Churchill Capital is a SPAC which has news and massive amounts of articles releasing that they plan to merge with Lucid. Now, it's currently just rumors at the current moment, so there's no confirmation. And as you can see, for a SPAC to increase this much, even though there's no confirmation, there must be a lot of hype built up around it, whether if it's retail investors and insider traders as well, because it takes a lot of momentum, volume, and money to move a $7 billion market cap stock. So there you have it. So for Churchill Capital, I went ahead and purchased 200 shares at the average cost of $33.08. And I'm currently up 985 today with a total return of $426. Now, what that means is if I were to sell it today, I would make $420 and I'll be up money. But that is not the end goal here for Churchill Capital. Now, what we want from this company here, we just want to milk it for as much funds as we currently can. So I currently have two option contracts, a sell option for a $40 call and $45 call here. Now, there are lots of risks for doing options, and there's videos explaining to you, but I'm gonna break it down the most simple way as possible. Now, you click here, you click sell, and February 19th is the strike price. When doing options, especially with SPACs, you want to put the the expiration as close as possible, because of course if we put 2022, look at these premiums, extremely juicy, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So what does this mean? Now, I click $40 strike price, and if you were to do it now in this date, they will give you $5.15 per contract. Now, each contract is 100 shares, and if you were to click one, that would mean they would give you a minimum credit of $515 for starting this contract. Now, that $515 is automatically locked, and what you need to do this is you need to have 100 shares of the current stock. So this play here is for individuals who have 100 or more shares. Maybe there's some of you who have 1,000 shares, 500 shares. So imagine the amount of revenue you could produce from selling call options on those shares. Now, what happens is those shares are locked until February 19th, so you can't really sell the shares unless you end up selling the contract. But it's good in the case of if you are one of those individuals who have anxiety and panic when you see a stock majorly dropping. When you're locked in at a contract, you just see it's down for the day, you close your app and you don't look at it until you're close to that expiration date, unless news of the merger goes sideways. Now, the implied volatility is through the roof, which is very good if you are the seller of the contract, because the higher the implied volatility, the more premiums you receive, the more expensive it is for the buyer. So there's currently 46,000 people with this open contract, which is amazing, and that beast is very popular, and they could see the massive opportunity here. So for every 100 shares at the $40 strike price, you're getting 515. Let's say you have 1,000 shares. They're going to give you 5,150 shares for holding on to Churchill Capital for 2 weeks. Now, let me tell you, there's worst case scenario, best case scenario, and okay case scenario. So worst case scenario is that they announce on anytime from between now to the 17th that there is no merger going through, and Churchill Capital plummets. Now, I don't see it retreating back to $10 or to $15, but it could plummet back down to the low $20 levels if there is no confirmation of the merger. And what that means is you're still gonna get your premium contract money, but you end up stuck holding on to these shares. Now, depending on what your average cost is, if it drops down to 20, it won't be much of a concern to you. Obviously, my average cost right now is $33. So if it drops down to 20, I will take a steep and steady loss. But at the end of the day, I'm not planning on selling this SPAC because it is the #2 biggest SPAC currently with a huge market cap. And if it doesn't merge with Lucid, guess what? It's going to merge with another company along the way. So I'll just keep selling contracts until I sell it above my average cost, which is the whole key of this method here, to milk Churchill Capitals for every single penny that you can. So doing the calculations, let's say my average cost is $33 and I pick a strike price that's $40, correct? Now I did one contract and that's 100 shares. So $40 minus my average cost, which is $33.08, is going to be $6.92. Now you're playing with 100 shares here, so you got to multiply this by 100, and I'm gonna profit $692 on top of the contract cost, which is $570 for me. If you're doing it today, it's going to be $517, but I will get an overall profit for this single contract $1,262 for holding on to a stock for 2 weeks. I'm getting $1,262. Now that is an insane amount return, ladies and gentlemen, and that is how you make easy money. Now I'm also doing a call at $45 strike price. Now what does that mean? The higher the strike price, the harder it is for the SPAC to hit that, and the more profit you'll get if it does get any higher than that. So meaning, because my average cost is $33.08, you would subtract the strike price, which is 45 minus $33.08, and it's $11.92. Now it's 100 shares. Now times 100, that equals to $1,192 just for selling the shares at that price. And if you add the premiums, which is $490, you can see here, I'll get an overall profit of $16.82. Now I explained to you worst case scenario. Now best case scenario comes February 17th at 4 p.m., which is when the contract expires. If Churchill Capital is resting at $38-39, then that's the best, absolute best case scenario, which means I keep my shares and I make all that money that I just made, $1,200 in premium. I keep it, and that's just $1,200 of premium, and I have my shares. Now, another best case scenario, Churchill Capital jumps up to $45 by February 17th, and 4 p.m. comes, it's above the $45 range, and my shares sell. So I made all that profit, which is gonna rake in $2,944 in overall profit, adding the premium and the share average cost, selling off. Now, I know a lot of you think that Churchill Capital is going to skyrocket to $60, $70, $80. And if that is you, then this play may not be for you, because you might want to hold it on the chance that it jumps up $30, $40, and it's at 70 or 80. Me, personally, at the end of the day, I'm making profit. So if it jumps up to $50 to $60, I'm not as concerned, because at the end of the day, I am profiting. Now, if it jumps up to $100, that's definitely a different story, and I'll go ahead and explain to you how you exit your contracts, and I'll let you know if it's profitable at the end of the day when the time comes. Now, the same way you sell to open a contract, to exit the contract, you would buy to close, and the limit price here, it would let you know it would be $400 for me to close one of my contracts at the current moment. I would exit out on a return, but I would miss out on $405 of possible premiums. But if it shoots up past $40, this limit price is no longer going to be $4, which is $400 per contract. It might shoot up to like $1,000. So we'll have to run through the calculations to see if it's worth closing the contract or not. And if that time comes, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. But in the meanwhile, I hope you got into Churchill Capital at a good price. I hope you guys saw my recent video and I explained it was going to dip below $30 and you'd be able to buy into it and let it ride now. So hopefully you got in what I explained. If you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this play, be sure to smash that like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Again.